This is a GRTS exclusive. This is GRTS special broadcast. Now, following the December 2021 presidential election and the National Assembly elections in April, His Excellency the President of the Republic, Adama Barrow, has constituted a new cabinet to run the affairs of the state. The changes include the restructuring of several key ministries. For a complete list of the changes, here is the government spokesperson, Mr. Ibrahim G. Sankare.
Thank you, Farmata. Let me unseal the envelope as handed to me by His Excellency. And then thank you very much. Good evening, Gambians, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, and all residents domiciled in the Gambia. The press release is dated today, the 4th of May, 2022, and is captioned Appointment of New Cabinet. The public is hereby informed that His Excellency Adama Barrow, President of the Republic of the Gambia, acting under Section 70, subsection 5A, and Section 71, subsection 4B of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, hereby relieves High Excellency, the Vice President, and all ministers in the Cabinet from their positions with immediate effect. His Excellency, the President, thanks them for their service to the nation and wishes them the best in their future endeavors. The public is further informed that His Excellency, President Adama Barrow, President of the Republic of the Gambia, acting under Section 70, subsection 3, and Section 71, subsection 3 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, is pleased to make the following appointments to his cabinet with effect from Wednesday, 4th of May, 2022. 1. Vice President, Mr. Aliu Badara Diouf. 2. Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mr. Dauda A. Jallow. 3. Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation, and Gambians Abroad, Dr. Mamadou Tangara. 4. Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Mr. Sidi Keta. 5. Minister of Defense, Mr. Serigne Modou Njai. 6. Minister of Interior, Mr. Siaka Sonko. 7. Minister of Tourism and Culture, Mr. Hamad Ngany Kumba Ba. 8. Minister of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, Mr. Abba Sanya. 9. Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Demba Sabali. 10. Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Mr. Ibrahima Silla. 11th. Minister of Health, Dr. Amadou Lamin Samate. 12. Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, Mrs. Claudiana Cole. 13. Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, Mrs. Fatou Kinte. 14. Minister of Petroleum and Energy, Mr. Abdoulaye Diop. 15. Minister of Fisheries and Water Resources, Mr. Musa S. Drame. 16. Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Pierre Gomez. 17. Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, Mrs. Rohi John Manjang. 18. Minister of Youth and Sports, Mr. Bakari Baji. Honorable Sidi Keta will continue to oversee the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment until the formalization of the appointment of the new minister designate, or of the minister designate. His Excellency, the President, acting under Section 71, subsection 1 of the Constitution, has created a new ministerial portfolio in charge of the public service, administrative reform, policy coordination and delivery. The new Minister of the Public Service, Administrative Reform, Policy Coordination and Delivery will have general oversight over the public service and shall work towards the formulation of policy geared towards institutionalizing a culture of discipline, excellence, and accountability in the public service. Furthermore, the new minister shall continuously review the inner workings of the administrative machinery of the government and make proposals for reform to reduce inefficiency and increase output. Finally, the minister shall be in charge or shall be charged with developing frameworks for monitoring the implementation of government policy and for ensuring effective communication and horizontal coordination between ministries. Accordingly, and acting under Section 71, subsection 3 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, His Excellency the President is pleased to appoint Mr. Babukar Usman Diouf it's also Babukar Usmaila or Babukar Usman Diouf. There's a type of, as minister in charge of the public service. Administrative reform, policy coordination and delivery with effect from the 4th of May 2022. In light of the new changes, His Excellency the President hereby makes the following administrative changes to the public service and the Office of the President. 1. With effect from the 4th of May 2022, the Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service shall be the titular head of the Personal Management Office with the sole mandate of supervising the civil service and answerable to the minister. His Excellency the President is pleased to appoint Mrs. Salimata E. Toure as Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service in accordance with Section 168, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, 1997. 2. Furthermore, the role of the Secretary General as Administrative Head of the Civil Service or as Head of the Office of the President shall be taken over by a Chief of Staff who shall be appointed by the President. His Excellency the President is therefore pleased to appoint Mr. Maud K. Sise as Chief of Staff. All correspondences for the President shall henceforth be addressed to the Chief of Staff. Furthermore, His Excellency the President has decided to decouple the Ministry of Information and Communication Infrastructure, commonly known as MOICI, into 2 separate ministries, namely 1. Ministry of Information, 2, and the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. The existing departments and their manpower under the old MOICI will now stand as sector-specific departments. In this regard, 1. The Department of Information Services will now serve as the technical arm of the government charged with the implementation of policy initiatives and visibility, public relations, and access to information under the new Ministry of Information. Gambia Radio and Television Services, GRTS, will continue to be the main media candidate of the dissemination of information and public programming. 2. The Directorate of Information and Communications Technology, ICT, under the old MOICI, will be transformed into a standalone department under the new Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, with the primary objective of increasing internet access and driving digital innovation geared towards unlocking new pathways for rapid economic growth, innovation, job creation, and technological advancement. These department structures are already existing under the old MOICI, with the necessary manpower and under separate budgetary headings or budget headings. Accordingly, and acting under Section 71, subsection 3 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, His Excellency President Barrow is pleased to appoint Mr. Lamin Queen Jammeh as Minister of Information. Honorable Ibrahima Silla will continue to oversee the new Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy until the formalization of the appointment of the Minister designate. Signed for Secretary General Ibrahima Sise, Cabinet Secretary, dated this 4th day of May 2022. End of broadcast. Thank you.
Thank you so much there, Mr. Spokesperson. Well, we've seen certain changes from who used to be in the cabinet to now. Tell us, the public, whether they acknowledge or not, looks up to the government for leadership.
Absolutely.
And what is the assurance here that this new cabinet will not indeed fall short of fulfilling their mandate or, in fact, fall short of their election?
Well, the question implies that the old cabinet fell short of their expectation.
No, I mean, it is to say, by hook or by crook,
yeah,
that they must.
Well, they are Gambians, all of them, and there are many qualified Gambians. There are probably more qualified, more competent Gambians, but it's an honor to be given the opportunity to serve your country. That's what President Barrow has done. Very soon they'll be sworn to the Constitution and to whatever religion they believe, the Bible or the Quran or whatever, and to make an undertaking that they're going to serve their country without fear or favor, affection or ill will, that they will not lie, that they will adhere to the rules and regulations prescribed by their oath of office. And it is anticipated. The President has a lot of confidence in this crop of a cabinet, and we don't expect anything less than what is expected.
It did not an impetuous decision. It had to take time before the president eventually came up with this particular list. Well, everyone knows, and the former NDP, which is the 2018-2021 plan, indicated outright that the government is keen on gender equality. Would you say that this particular list is reflective of that? One would say that the cabinet must be a pace-setting ground for this.
Yeah. I agree. I have seen the new Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service.
I count only 3.
Is a woman. The Minister of Education remains a woman. The Minister of Women's Affairs remains a woman. And for the first time in Gambian history, President Barrow is the one who created the Ministry of Women Affairs. We always had a women's bureau, but then he actually amplified the circumstances surrounding women by creating a ministry. So gradually we'll get there. It's difficult to satisfy everybody, but I think it's a major development. It's a significant shift. If you look at the new cabinet, you can see that there's a lot of work that went into this place. This team, highly qualified Gambians, by no way suggesting that those who went were not qualified.
So you're saying that high qualification was the basis of which this list?
No. You can have all the degrees in the world. If you are not committed to your country, the education is zero. You have to have the character. You have to have the temperament that actually require, to be able to fulfill this very Herculean task as a minister. Yes. So apparently qualifications, yes, but beyond qualification was character, love for country, patriotism, and selflessness. And that's what we expect.
Precarious list or not, we've seen how, of course, government officials kept changing in the form. Do we anticipate such? Because this is not what a progressive society
No. Far from that. And also there is a novelty. If you look at the new cabinet, you also, I don't know if you have realized that 2 of the new ministers were governors. One is Abasanyang,
yes,
who was governor in the Central River region. The other person is a lady, the former governor of the Lower River region. So that also means that President Barrow has been watching his governors, and he knows who was committed to work. And out of the 5, he has chosen these people. That may also be a motivation for the other governors to also work harder and aim higher, that the future is bright.
Going forward, the NDP has expired. We're looking forward to a green recovery plan. What is the plan going forward for proper coordination amongst all these ministries to ensure the goal?
Yeah, if you see the creation of the new ministry at the PMO, now instead of having a permanent secretary overseeing or heading the PMO, you have a secretary general. For the first time, the secretary general has always been at the presidency. In order to reduce the workload, the stress work of the secretary general, President Barrow has decided to hire a chief of staff. The correspondence says that any letter you write into President Barrow must now be addressed to his chief of staff, Motke Sise, who was a former permanent secretary at the Works Ministry. Until today, he is. So obviously, this shows seriousness, and it shows commitment and dedication to duty. That the president, in the next 5 years, as the bus driver, the metaphorical bus driver, really would continue to accelerate his vehicle, and then we reach there.
Let's look at the case of Moise before I let go.
Okay.
What's the reason for the disectomy?
The dichotomy or dissectomy, whatever you want to call it, is because the world actually evolves. When Malik, your boss, and I worked at Radio Gambia, we never knew we were going to have Facebook, we were going to have WhatsApp, we were going to have Twitter, whatever you could, TikTok. Today, every day, there's a new platform. I call it the new realm of journalism. So journalism has evolved. Now technology has to, go in tandem with communication and information, and consistent with global patterns and the trajectory that stuff has taken. This is why President Barrow decided that here too we have to decouple them. Decoupling them means to increase efficiency so that everybody, you would practice what you do best. It's like Adam Smith's theory of the pin factory, division of labor. You do what you do best.
But in the NDP, it was also there that of course, technology is going to be used as an engineer for growth. But we've seen little effort being done, would you say?
Well, I wouldn't say that. Given the circumstances in which President Barrow came to power, the limited resources we found here, the financial situation of the country, we couldn't even pay beyond 2 months' salary. Today we can pay up to 7-8 months. So there is a significant actually development. So to suggest otherwise really would be an underestimation of the progress registered thus far.
Going forward, what would be your assurance on behalf of government? What can Gambians anticipate? And just this news that has just come forth, just making sure that we realize.
They're going to see a very serious, a more sober, more reflective, more introspective president who has a big heart for his country, who loves his country, who wants to promote a spirit of democracy, transparency, and respect for the rule of law. So the next 5 years are really years for hard work and dedication to our country.
Very well. Mr. Spokesperson, many thanks for your time.
My profound pleasure.
There you have it. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
This is a GRTS.
ferry bi lekk la loo xam ne dañ ko inherit mu nekk lu métti ñu ñëw ñu def si ay liggéey ak isi ferry bu ees liggéey bi di dem waaye affaire yi ferry dafa seer nekkul lu yomba ñu gis ne soo demee pexe ngay am benn resource bi ngay def pexe boobu di am benn resource te resource bi du mun a ceeñ su nekkee benn pexe boobu nga am ñu ne xaaral ñu xalaataat beneen pexe mooy ñu am private company tam bu nga xam ne dafay liggéey te moom tam ferry laay isi muy liggéey government bi di liggéey ñoom ñëpp ñu ànda pour affaire bi gën a yomb loo tax fu mu nekk ni sign nañ contract compagnie boo xam ne mu ngi ñëw liggéey si fii investment bu moo def pour mu isi ferry yi mu ngi invest over $54 million pour fu ferry yi di jaar ak liggéey yooyu yëpp xaalis boobu fi di Gambia fii lay des te dafay jeex ay liggéeykat ñoo xam ne waa Gambia la ñoo nekk pour mu isi fi ay ferry pour mu yombal diggante fii ak Baara